welcome back once again. It's New Mutator. I'm going to be casting game number 4 here between the Bros and Fellowship of the Bling, our finalist teams for the World Cup 2014, Myth World Cup, I should say. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. I want to say GKG and company for the Bros are probably feeling pretty good coming into game number 4 here. They're up 2 games to 1. They're just outperforming their opponents in terms of just level of aggression and just I don't want to say execution, but I don't know. I feel like there's the strategies coming into the game and just in terms of like how they're definitely outguessing their opponents, right? So they're I feel like GKG is coming into each game and is like, okay, I know what they're probably going to do, and I'm just going to choose the pick that can do it better than them. And that's just sort of what happened, what we saw in game 3, where they picked what looked to be kind of an optimal selection for that map slash game type for the situation, and Osmodian um, picked something that could have worked in different circumstances, but was just suboptimal in terms of the way that that particularly that particular game just played out. So I'm kind of curious to see, how Osmodian is able to address that. I don't necessarily want to call it a deficiency, but it's definitely something that needs to be addressed if they want to get back into this match here in Game 4. So this is Barbarian Valley, Capture the Flag, and this is a light mesh. So we're going to see, Bowmen, Goals, Warriors, Thrall, Journeyman, and Whites, as well as Dwarves as possible selections here. And, interestingly enough, I know I said Bowman first, but we don't see any for GKG. It doesn't look like he's tying up any unit trading points in Bowman, which is actually really interesting because we see a lot of Bowman here for Osmodian and the Fellowship. So that's pretty curious. Capture the flag, of course, you want to take the flag of your opponent before your own is taken. So the first team to take the other opponent's flag will win this game. And I'm not sure what that... So, I mean, Bowmen are kind of expensive, right? Unit trading points wise, they cost 3 apiece. So if you... How many is this? This is, I don't know, 4, 8, 12 Bowmen. So that is, what, 36 unit trading points that could be dumped into other things. Melee, goals. I'm not sure. What else could you do? It looks like Thrall, even. I mean, that gives you a pretty sizable contingent of Thrall. I mean, that buys you pretty much all of this Thrall, not going Bowman. And yeah, it doesn't look like very many Thrall being opted for by Osmodian at all. Maybe 5 Thrall total. Both teams, however, are going to melt their whites for as much pus as possible. Basically pick those up with the goals, and as we saw in previous games, you run in with the goals. Goals are just terrific at running interference and basically being harassing style units. They're low health, low damage, but they can pick up detritus on the battlefield and toss it, depending on its relative weight in the game world. So you can set up pus bombs and all things of they can throw these cleavers and kill units, but those are pretty low damage. You only want to use that if 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 it's absolutely necessary. Basically, what they're used for almost exclusively is the throwing of the large pus packets that come out of melted whites, and that's what journeymen are basically used for competitively in the metagame now. Is just melting all the whites at the beginning, at the start of the game, and just sitting on the flag defensively, not being utilized in almost any other way. They're pretty slow. They soak up a lot of damage, and they're just not the best in like a one-on-one kind of duel with anything else. They can eventually run down, like a dwarf. So maybe they're good at one-on-one duel with dwarves, or maybe an archer or something like that. But you hardly ever are going to find a one-on-one duel outside of the outside of on the front lines, I guess I should say. So very curious. I mean, we see that the Fellowship comes mid, and really the Bros are just gonna run straight through this side entrance here, try to run up on the high ground if they can in the backfield, and just exclusively just a rush kind of flank here. And by this time, we can see that the Fellowship know this and are reacting by moving their entire force south, which is interesting because I don't know where it doesn't really open anything else up for anybody on. Oh no. What? So Limp does actually manage to slip through a goal here, and he's going to scout that flag out, that home flag, and actually, um, I think. I mean, I'm not really sure what the Bros thought were gonna happen there. They were gonna run in and maybe try to take the flag before anything could happen, but obviously that didn't. I think they just wanted to scout out the force, kind of the unit trading selection by the Fellowship, and maybe fall back. It looks like they're playing defensive. Very interesting. Oh, I kind of get it. Okay, so instead of going archers, they're basically going to, I want to say, play almost exclusively defensively here. And that's going to force the Fellowship to play from the low ground in kind of an offensive, because in order to, if they want to get back into this match, they have to take a win. GKG and the Bros can play for a tie, and they're sitting. I mean, they don't need to push. They don't need to play for the win here. They can fall back on the tie and just come into the next game swinging. They're just playing not to lose. In other words, they don't want to lose, but that doesn't mean that they have to run in and try to take a game when they don't have to. So they're basically going to force the Fellowship to kind of play from the terrain disadvantage, trying to push up into a defensive position, which is kind of interesting. I did not actually foresee that strategy, so that's actually pretty high level there, I would say. As yeah, they're just gonna try to waste time. They're just gonna try to run down the clock here. I mean, we're at less than 9 minutes remaining, and they're gonna move the scouts around so they can scout. I mean, these goals are just running scout. Yes, they have pus. Actually, it's only two of the three have pus, and they're basically scouting information. They might be able to. No, they're not gonna be able to take this flag. Not with the way that they're. I mean, yeah, Shadow's actually gonna run back and scout out the rear of this advancing force. So very curious. I mean, the Fellowship, it doesn't look like they want to move in on the offensive here. They're trying to figure out what to do, actually, how to react to this really kind of unconventional strategy here being employed against them. Because if they push in, then these warrior flanks push out, and they might be able to. I mean, they might be able to just push in and take the flag, but the warrior flanks can come in and just swoop in and basically render your archers useless. Those warrior packs or war packs, as they're often referred to, are pretty tough to deal with sometimes, especially when paired up with Puskulls, as it looks like they are going to be for both teams, actually. Well, not really for the Fellowship, as they've got archers and dwarves hanging out with them. And the archers are going to make it difficult to play the kind of aggressive style that war packs allow you to play. And actually, it looks like Samuel is just going to break out here. He sees kind of, he is going to run into Arsenic's scouting warrior. So he is going to be scouted. And I think Arsenic is going to fall back to the flag and try to defend against this. Nope. Arsenic is just going to go for it. Very interesting. Samuel's going to move in. Looks like Giant Killer General took some shots on that one warrior there. But he is going to try to push Osmodian back. And Rat King's going to move around, play interference, and harass along with Shadow. And they're going to be targeting these dwarves, but they don't have the clear shot with this Thrall kind of running in and blocking them. So they're going to fall back. And Limp is going to run in and try to push back. He's going to repel Eastwind, but Zilla and Eastwind are here. So he's going to basically he's going to move back and not take any damage, but he's going to make himself known. He's going to make his presence felt, and let them know that if they decide to move in, he's going to run in at them on the side and flank. And that's what's going to happen. Uh-oh. Looks like Zell's going to be mobilized upon. As Limp's going to come in, Kruniak is going to throw down that pus. Barely. Defensive pus going down. And actually, Limp gets pussed. But, oh, all of a sudden, the pus goals go down on Zell's force, and these archers do get cleaned up.
5 minutes remaining.
While this is happening, there is sort of like a shadow, a Warpack shadow going on in the north. You know, Samuel's going to be, and Arsenic are going to be sort of chasing each other. Arsenic is going to fall back on that flag. But this is what's happening here, is the Thrall do catch up. Once you take out those archers, I mean, what do you have? You have 3 unit trading points at a time just being blown up. And after that, you have a bunch of Thrall just moving in on you. So, I don't know. It's tied at 68 percentages a piece at this point. 68% a piece. But, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be pretty tough. I mean, these archers, all of a sudden, Merc and Kryptos come in, but I mean, this is kind of a tough angle. I mean, I think the Bros, all their pus was used up, so I mean, this is going to be a pretty rough defense by them. They do have a lot of Thrall to soak up whatever damage that might be thrown at them by these dwarves. Ooh, nice dodge for now. But I really do think that Eastwind is going to be cleaned up here, or attempted to be cleaned up. Kryptos is going to run and try to snipe that dwarf. Isn't going to be able to do it, but there's enough archers here to take it out. And it does end up going down. And actually, Kryptos is in a great position, Kryptos and Merc, but I think they're just going to end up trading as there's not enough here to hold on. Arsenic is going to do his best, but I think they're just going to trade flags. It's going to be tough. Uh-oh.
Flag captured.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Kruniak's going to step off the flag as he realizes that his team has this contested. And actually, a lot of pus coming down here. And Arsenic is just going to get cleaned out. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And GKG and company are going to be able to take that flag. And Osmodian is here, but realizes he has to back away as Arsenic and the rest of his team just got cleaned up before he was able to. He won his little miniature battle. He took out a couple of units, but wasn't able to get there in time to prevent all that damage, and realizes he needs to get the heck out of there. He's just going to be tagged, I think. There isn't really much he's going to be able to do. He has to turn around and fight this. Nice. He's able to get 1 goal. Uh-oh. It's going to be tough. He needs to turn around and take it. Oh, no! GKG is going to keep the chase going strong. Osmodian actually goes in on that. He takes out one goal. Loses a dwarf, though, in the process. And Arsenic is here with a warrior. But it's a green warrior. Doesn't have a lot of health. A lot of vets to help him out here. But that Thrall might help. However, I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see. I think GKG is going to come out on top because he's just got the vets. If you look at the shields, 3 kills on that one warrior there. However, Osmodian actually takes that. But Limp is here with the Puskull. Uh-oh, this is going to spell disaster, I think, for this for this 2-person flank. However, uh-oh.
1 minute
Eastwind is going
remaining.
to lose. No. GKG just has too little health. He's going to be chased away there by that by that one lone warrior. He's going to keep the pressure up, though. 1 minute remains, and it's 10 to 31%. Basically, Bros ended up losing that engagement, but they held on to the flag, and they're going to try to keep Fellowship from coming back in and contesting.
30 seconds
Beautiful play there by
remaining.
Eastwind in keeping that goal off of him. And Osmodian does have that. I mean, Samuel is... Uh-oh. Arsenic does get Puss with the small Puss, and that's going to slow him down. 15 seconds remain. That was a beautiful shot, actually. He might have had a chance to contest, but it's not. It's looking like it's not going to happen at this point, as Samuel's going to run in and basically play interference at this point. They just don't want to contest. They don't want anybody
Game
contesting their
over.
flag, and yep, that's going to be that. Very interesting. I think they're going to end up tying. I think this is going to be a tie. So they played for a tie there, and they got it. Very interesting. I really think that the Fellowship had what it took to take it in the end. When I saw that, what was it, Merc and Cryptos, I think, they had all their archers remaining on the south flag. They with their flank, all of their archers, and basically all that Team GKG had left at that point was Thrall, since everything else was basically funneled north into the offensive here. I think they pulled out. I think Team GKG pulled out an amazing victory taking this north flag. I really thought that Arsenic could have held on if it wasn't for that Puss that came down on his head and basically took him out of that engagement. As a result, they were able to hold on and pull out a tie, which was really great when you think about it, seeing how down they were. Only 6% remained to almost a third of the remaining force for the Fellows. So yeah, that was a pretty excellently performed defensive there in the end, especially with the small Puss on that goal, keeping Arsenic at bay, not allowing him to close the gap and contest in time. And I just don't think I'm not sure if there are any goals remaining for. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the thing that sucks about having slow units like archers. And the great thing about goals is that they can just contest flags. They're really great at running in, sitting on a flag, and stalling the game until the victory, until you can pull that out. And actually look at all that Thrall losses. That's pretty amazing. So many Thrall were lost by Team GKG. It's really interesting. I'm not sure what Fellowship could have done differently to take this game. I mean, they were up in almost every category. As you can see here, Arsenic did a pretty amazing job holding on and basically allowing his team, giving his team what they needed to hang in there. And Merc pulled out some incredible numbers, as well as Cryptos. They had the tag team flank there in taking that. They were instrumental in taking that bottom flag. Meanwhile, nobody really on the Bros really stands out, except GKG pulling in the numbers, I think, for his team. 31 damage is going to be about a third, almost a third of his team's damage there. And 18 to 17 kills is going to be one of the only players, I think the only player to pull out positive ratios here in game number 4. So instead of a win for Fellows, it's actually going to be a tie. And so it's going to be 2 games for Bros, 1 game for Fellows, and then a tie for neither. So kind of interesting development here in game number 4. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens. I had a feeling that GKG was playing for a tie there, but I don't think it went the way that he expected it to. However, they still managed to pull that tie out in the end, so pretty excellent defensive plays. So game number 5 is, going to be Osmodian's team's the Fellowship. It's going to be their opportunity to get back into this and tie it all up in the finals match here of the Myth World Cup 2014. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this cast. And game number 5 is indeed going to be next.